want to open the aperture with you a little bit, since you're not just ambassador to Japan. You've got some thoughts on global issues and a lot of experience on them.
Yeah, probably more global thoughts than I'm allowed.
Yeah, well, I want to see how many I can get you to talk about it anyway. I'll put it in the context of, we've been discussing a pivot to Asia for a long time, but that's a lot harder when Europe and the Middle East are as dark as you described it.
I hate that whole term.
I don't
and the
blame you.
whole concept. If you're a superpower, you don't
play everywhere.
Yeah, you have to.
But you have to prioritize as well.
Sure.
We're looking at these two wars.
Yeah.
Unlike the U.S.-China relationship, which has interdependencies and guardrails, when I look at the Middle East war right now, when I look at the Russia-Ukraine war right now, I don't see those things. I see both of them getting not resolved anytime soon. In fact, probably getting worse. How do you respond to that?
Let's take Ukraine first. I think that's one of endurance. And I know when you say resolved, I think our determination to stay the distance will have an impact. Actually, that tactic has strategic value. Because I
and is increasingly open to question.
You and I are sitting here today. I have been in Congress. I've negotiated other things as a chief of staff and as a senior advisor. Based 8,000 miles away, 14-hour difference, I believe it will get resolved before the holiday season. I can be wrong. You'll play this back and say, what do you know about politics anymore in 3 weeks? But I see a lot of interests more aligned. It's actually interesting. I think there's more alignment on Israel and in Ukraine, and the real issues in and around the border and refugee and asylum. But I do think that will find a way, because there's other interests that have to get motivated and moved. And if that happens, I think Europe will move in the other way as strategically. Russia's interest in Ukraine, they will come, if we show our endurance level, will come to the conclusion the costs to Russia, not just at home, but across the globe, as Azerbaijan and Armenia showed. Even something that they had a key strategic interest.
And ultimately could play virtually no role and got resolved against them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that their dependence on North Korea will come
for ammunition.
Right, for ammunition, and what they handed over in violation of the UN Charter that they were signatory on.
In terms of
sanctions.
New technologies.
Yeah. So I think that, there's a cost pressure here. Now, the Middle East, as it relates to what's happening now, I think this is where I have to be careful, because there's real things happening in real time, but also I can't get out. No matter how much I would like to get out of my lane, I can't get out of my lane. But I think on this is not just a Hamas-Israel issue. And this deals with something fundamental to the core of Israel's security. And I think we're at a period of time, given what's happening in the north, what's happening in the south, being Lebanon border, Gaza, and Syria, and then you can say the West Bank. I think we're at the beginning of something that's more
regional.
Yeah. Not regional, but long-term in Israel's security, which is essential to our security interests.
So I am hearing, and I want to make sure I got this right, that of these two conflicts, the one in the near to medium term you are more concerned about is in the Middle East.
I am, because that has a potential to spiral and bring other players in that has a conflict. I'm giving you just my view. Okay,
That's all I'm asking for.
No, I know, but I want to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Russia's capacity, because I think that when you look at the loss of life, loss of ammunition, loss of armor, that tells you the ability for this to spiral out into a NATO country. Not that you shouldn't be nervous about it, but NATO has been activated in a way that we haven't seen in the last 15 years. But given Iran, given Hezbollah, given the West Bank, but given Gaza Strip, given the Houthis in Yemen, it's a close quarter, and there's more than one player here.
And there ain't no NATO in the Middle East.
No, but there is no NATO in the Middle East, but you can see the level of deterrence that the United States brought has had its own impact.